I mean, you've also seen Portugal kind of weather many storms. There was the economic crisis of '06, '08. That was tough. That was really tough. But there was this resolve in the Portuguese mentality, like we're going to tighten our belts, we're going to get through this. You didn't see people rioting and complaining and causing mayhem in the streets. It was almost like this collective, we'll get through this together. But on a level of tourism in business, they did some really dynamic things, and it really showed the resolve and the Portuguese word that doesn't desenrascar, just making a way and making a plan. I mean, you must have seen that as well on a business level.
Oh yeah, for sure. So yeah, we have had the ups and downs. That was they were tough times, and then we had with the IMF and what we could spend and what we could do. And you're right. I think the resilience to tourism will always be a great drive, but I think there's more than tourism. But I think it's that is easy to fall back on generally, and I think that was able to really kick off. And then of course we had the crisis of the properties 14, 15. That was another,
Yeah.
and that's I think that period between the IMF going out and then when we had the property crisis. Yeah, I think maybe that's when there was too many projects. I was probably part of a lot of that development as well. And there's hotels opening everywhere, and there was massive speculation. I remember, I mean, I opened up part of the development of Beja, the project of Beja Airport, and what was happening
Mm.
there with Alkieva. And I remember talking to German tour operators, and they said, "Look, we don't go to Portugal for lakes. We go to Portugal for the beach. We have lakes in Switzerland and Germany." And you think, yeah, probably did it make sense to put thousands of rooms in man-made lakes? I think it was that Almansil Valdelobos Quinta triangle. It's probably some of the highest real estate in Europe because it's
Hmm.
20 minutes from an airport. And it's easy. It's easy. I'm an Irish guy or a Brit. I jump on a plane. I'm in Faro. I'm in my Vivenda in 20 minutes in the middle of Europe's best. And I think we kind of took that. That was successful, and that will never. But I think we kind of took that and thought you can do that all over the country, and you can't. It's
Yeah.
the Spanish will come in, or the Brazilians will come and start buying in the interior. It's different today. I think today it's a different world again. But there was that period, those 5 or 6 years where, and then of course we had to sell a lot, and that's when unfortunately the banks took ownership of a lot of Portugal was in the hands of banks for some years. We know that,
Yeah.
not just hotels, but many industries were suffering. And we've
Yeah.
been, okay, and then we fought back, and then COVID, and now I suppose, yeah, we're in. It's what next?
Yeah.
Because we're pushing our limits. I would say we're pushing our limits on what more we can develop. There's now it seems to be that expression less is more. The American market will pay. So if the Americans can come in, we can start pushing up restaurant bills, we can push up property prices, we can push up hotel stays. But we're not, the Americans are about 40% of the market. So there's another 60% that we're becoming expensive.
Yeah.
In when we compare, it's difficult to compare a cup of coffee in Paris or Lisbon, but that there are things today that, as you said, in our periods that we've seen, we should never be cheap, but we used to be really good value for money. Maybe
Yeah.
sometimes now we're becoming a bit expensive in some of
Mm.
and the
It-
delivery may not be as good as it could be for that
yeah.
kind of segment that you're looking for.